What's up guys, my name is Lori from Fruitful Planning. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and join the family. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I've been using my hobonichi cousin so far in 2019. Now you may notice that you see two books here. Now this book right here, you see it's not even a full book. I started the year with this book. And so I was online, I was, on Facebook, and I noticed that there were some people that mentioned that they cut down their cousin and put it in an A5 Halifax. Now, I thought that was interesting because before I came to the hobonichi, I used to use a Halifax. So I was like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. I think I'll try doing that because one of the things I like about the Halifax is being able to have the different sections. So I decided to to cut it down. So I started the process, excuse me guys. I started the process of cutting it down and I immediately regretted it. So I stopped, but I already took off the cover, I already took off some of the pages out. So it was kind of weird having it like that, but I kind of kept using it. I think I used it for another week or two. But it got complicated when I would put it in the case because I slide both covers in the case, and the back cover being the cover that's missing, it was just not working out, and it kind of drove me a little crazy. So I decided to get a new one. So we're getting the new one now because it was April. I believe it was the end of April when this happened. So I had to now get this new one, transfer everything over to here, and I did that. Somewhat, I got the weekly transferred over, but not the monthly. So for the early part of the monthlies, I'm going to show you guys in here, and then we'll go over to here. So the tracker, I'll explain the tracker in here. I guess I'll do that first. Let me explain the tracker in here, how I use the tracker. Now, this is actually one of my favorite part of the hobonichi cousin, or just the hobonichis. The weeks is a bit tiny, but the cousin is just so much space. So pretty much what I use the tracker for, and throughout the year I did kind of try and figure out and experiment with what exactly I wanted to use it for, and you guys will see that. But I started out just using it to track, time with my husband, when my period would start. Also, I was tracking, I'm tracking, using it to track when the kids are sick. Now, there are a few places where I do use it as kind of like an index. Like here, I have like a recipe for a colon cleansing, so I have it right there, and it tells me that's the page that it's on. So that's what I've been using it for, to track adult time, period, when the kids are sick. Now, when I got to April, I started using these 3 boxes up here for my goals. So I wrote down my 3 goals for the month, and then I try to check them off and try to accomplish them so I could check them off. But I only kind of did that for 2 months. So I've been consistently using it to track adult time, kids, when the kids are sick, and period. So that's how I've been using the tracker. Now over here, when I got to July, I decided I wanted to, because I saw this idea, I don't know if you guys could see it. I saw this idea where you kind of use these areas and like you're tracking different times, like quiet time for my daughter or morning devotion, and I would check. But I realized I didn't really like that too much. So I just continued doing what I normally do in just tracking adult time and things like that. Now, when you get to the monthly, these monthlies again are blank because I did them over here. So I'll show you guys, starting out the year, I mostly use my monthlies to track my husband's schedule. So it's mainly for that. So you guys will see that a lot. I think I started out using it to also to track like birthdays and things like that. So, but in February, I love February. February is like my favorite month because I started trying to color code, and I also was trying to get into to start a fitness program. So I would use a monthly for that, which I love. So once I get back into working out, which is something, one of my goals I'm working on, then I would continue using the monthlies for that. So the monthlies I would use for my, to track schedule. I also was tracking churches, like which church I went to each Sabbath, because sometimes we visit other churches, sometimes we're home at our home church, and if we are at our home church, I also like to track who's preaching. So that's what I use the monthly for in February. In March, it's, you know, it went back to just because I didn't keep up with doing the fitness program. So it's mostly, again, just tracking my husband's schedule. And then April, again, is schedule. And that's when I kind of transition into this book. So I'll go into this. And you guys may notice these tabs. These tabs are from Carpe Diem. They have a sticker book that I got from Hobby Lobby. So that's where I got these tabs, and I just put the monthly tabs on there. So it's easy to just grab the tab and flip to the month that I want to get to. But yeah, April I did kind of transfer over to this book, and you know, I got this sticker kit, and you know, I started decorating. May I did the same. And then June I didn't use the monthly much. June, I kind of had a period where I kind of still wasn't using the cousin, and I kind of went back to see if I wanted to use my Filofax. So for a little moment there, I was kind of using my Filofax for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks in June. So then July, I'm back, and again, tracking my husband's schedule, tracking like different events that's going on that we need to go to. We rent, and so I also track when they cut the grass. So when they come and cut the grass, I also track that to see how often they're coming. So yes, I already have August decorated. So those are the monthlies, and then we get to the weekly. Again, I've been using my, I believe the only week, that very first week in the cousin was actually used in this book. I just didn't transfer it over. But so I've been using it since the very first week. So I'm just giving you guys a brief flip through. As you can see, I kind of go back and forth with stickers or kits. Now, if you notice, some of my pages are a little ripped up here, is because what started happening was that the top was getting too chunky and it was driving me nuts. And it was all the stickers, because I would put like a washi strip, and then I would put a sticker that's the date, the day, and the day, and it was too much. It was just making it too chunky, and it was driving me nuts. So some of them I went through and I took them back off, and I left it blank like that. So there's that. This side panel, I really love this side panel, and I use it for tracking different things that I don't track, like morning devotions. I would always put down a tracker to track that, because that's something I want to stick with every day. So I put it there. Well, I started tracking brushing the kids' teeth, making sure I brushed it morning and evening, so twice a day. So they say brush teeth morning. Let's see. Again, my trackers, and just random decoration here. You see, I was potty training my daughter. Here I just used washi. And you're gonna see some weeks like this. What happened is here it didn't make its way over, because it was a lot of weeks to transfer. So I didn't have a chance to get all of them fully transferred over. Like this is a week. It was the planner was fully used this week, but it's in the other one. So it didn't get fully transferred over. Again, this week is just like that. This week, half of it got transferred. I'm still trying to get the other half over, because I love, I used to hear people say that all the time, because the thing with Filofax is that the pages are loose. So the pages get all over the place, but with a bound book, it's really nice looking back on the year and see everything in one place. So my goal is that I'm eventually gonna transfer all the monthly information and the weeks that are missing from the old one to this one, and so I could have that to archive that at the end of the year. So again, this is another week that's not fully transferred over. This is like one of my favorite. I love this kit. It's from Erica G Design. She's a printable shop, so I have some of her kits. There's that week. Here then this week I started because I came up with like a morning routine and an evening routine. I stay at home and I have my 3-year-old and my 2-year-old, and so you have to have a routine with the children. So I came up with the different routines, and so I got these stickers and I was just putting them down, but I realized it's not really necessary to put down an evening morning routine sticker every day. So that was just 1 week that I did it. I didn't do that anymore. This was another kit that I really liked. I believe it was from, I forgot her name, Hammerhead. I forgot her name on Etsy, but I'll see if I can link it below as well. Some of my kits were printables that's for Erin Condren, and I just shrink them down. So here, this week was very busy. I learned from this week that this is kind of too much. This week overwhelmed me. Like my brain it was just too. It's beautiful, but it was too much. I loved it. Like, I was able to track my meals, track my things that I'm tracking, my reading, devotions, different things like that. My goal here, but I think it was a little too much. One thing that I don't really like too much is when the bottom down here, the washi down here, is too thick. I prefer for it to be a little thinner so it doesn't take up so much of the actual days. So I think it was just too overwhelming for me. So here's another week, and as you could see, I regularly, consistently use this side here, and it's to track habits. Most of the time I try to put a goal for the week and my meals. So that's mostly what I do over here. Again, you'll see this was a kit from La Land, I believe. She's a Canadian shop. This is again from Erica G Design this week. I guess I didn't do a whole lot of planning in here. This week I decorated fully, and again the kit, it was just too overwhelming. So I tried to take out most of it, the rest couldn't come off, so I ended up not using that week. This week I decorated, and I think this was when I started experimenting with the Filofax. So I didn't really use much of this week. Then these were actually transferred. So for the weeks that I were using the Filofax, and when I came back to my hobonichi, I didn't want these weeks to be blank, so I just transferred all the things that I did, and I just didn't do any decoration. So I kind of like it like that sometimes. So sometimes decoration, sometimes just no decoration. So here we have this, and this is a kit from my shop, and again, you see where I'm tracking everything. I love these habit trackers, and I love these because I track my meals. Well, I meal plan, so these are essential for me in planning. This is a week I decorated, but I didn't really use the planner that week. This another week. This is also a kit from my shop, and this is last week. Yeah, this is last week. And so these days I didn't really do much. Once you start getting towards the end of the week, you may not see a whole lot on my schedule. Like I know some people, they don't mind having Saturday and Sunday combined or smaller because it's the weekend for them. But for me, the weekend I still do a lot. But Saturdays I don't do anything pretty much. I'm at church. Fridays I try to make Fridays a chill day. So all my cleaning and everything like that, I like to start my cleaning on Sunday to Thursday, and Friday's just tidying up. So that was last week, and this is this current week that just started. Now my dailies is very interesting. For a lot of people, I know there's this constant experimenting with the dailies. So for me, for the month of January, because I transferred this book, the other book for the month of January and February, I believe I journaled. Almost every day I journaled. So that's what I did with the dailies. But then when I came over to this book, I already started having a regular journal as a journal. So I didn't bother journaling in the planner. So what I did, I used the pages to put these printables in. So this is a printable for clutter and decluttering, getting clutter free in 30 minutes. Some DIY floor cleaners, bathroom cleaners, 5-minute fix, cleaning routine. So it's all these home type stuff, cleaning type stuff, printables that I put in there. And I thought they would make the planner bulky, but it actually didn't. So I'm happy for that. And I think I may actually put some, if I have some important information for my next year one, I'll do the same. Here I'm gonna move that like that. For the rest of it is just my church. They do like a contact list, so all the members, their contact information. So I have that in here as well. I have a password printout in here as well, and like a bill pay tracker. So I have that in here. And then the rest of it I was using is just note pages. So I was using just random note pages. And then I came up with an idea that I really, really enjoy, but I have to kind of tweak it a little bit. So I'm trying to, I have an Etsy shop, so I'm running a business. Also, my worship daily with my children. I do my devotional. I try to pray midday. So I do these different things faith-wise that I want to plan out and organize. So I came up with this idea to section off each day and to have different category. So I like this. This one is perfect. Here I have business. So here, and I the reason why I love this is because then you could keep everything in one planner, which is beautiful. Rather than having multiple planners, it gets to be too much. So here I have my business. I'll keep my business to-do list here. Up here I have the kids. One of the things I wanted to do was to just, track the kids' behaviors based on, sometimes I'll notice that my daughter, she didn't sleep too well, and so during the day she's a little cranky. I'm like, okay, you're tired, you need a nap. So things like that. Down here, fitness. Here again would be faith, and here is self-care, which is so important. So I showed you guys before where I was using that little book as a self-care planner, but that didn't work out, so I'm using that gratitude. So here, my plan is to use the dailies for that. And I did for a few days. For a few days, I did it. I think what started happening was, like you see, I laid it out, but I didn't fully use it. What started happening was that I think the marker that I used to draw the lines and putting the stickers there, it was too like in your face. It just kind of, I don't know. It just seemed a little overwhelming for me. So I didn't stick with it, but then I figured out a better way to do it. And that's right here. So what I'll do instead, still do the drawing of the little boxes, but just write it out instead of putting a big old stickers. Also, I use a red thing here, but my plan is to kind of find a gray. I was looking for a gray marker to use. I didn't find one. So I'm going to use a lighter color. That way it's not too bright. Excuse me. Another category I had is social. One of the things that I'm trying to improve on is reaching out to people more. So I think about people a lot. Like if I went to church or I haven't heard from someone in a while, I think about them and I wonder, are they okay? Is everything okay? But I don't reach out to them to check to see if they're okay. So that's what this little box is going to be. I want to plan each week who the different people that, that I'm friends with, or, different people that I know in my life that I want to reach out to just to check on them and see if they're okay. That's what this is going to be for. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I've been using my hobonichi. So far, there's still a whole lot of notes pages, again, because I'm still trying to find my groove with the dailies. But again, I really, really, really love this idea. But I'm ready for a new planner because this planner have been so many different things going on in it. It just, my brain is like, okay, I want a fresh start. So I'm ready for the year to finish, the new year to start. and I'm definitely gonna be using this method, and I'll let you guys know. I'll probably do a video maybe next year, like maybe a couple of months in the year, to show how this is going, because I really like this method, because it helps me to track different areas in my life that I want to keep up with. So yes guys, that's how I've been using my cousin. I'm using I believe this is called a picnic cover. I do have the blue one and this one, plus some AliExpress covers. So I'm liking this one so far. I also have another idea I want to show you guys. I have right here is this is where I keep my passwords. And also I have another little one where I keep birthdays. So my idea, this is the weeks book, it's very thin. My idea is I'm gonna put all my passwords and all my birthdays in this little book. It's very thin. I could slip it in here, or I could slip it in here, or right here, and it won't take up much space. So that's my plan, because one of my struggles at the beginning of the year with the cousin is I feel like, okay, it's not really working, because I'm used to a file of facts where I have my contact section, I have my password section, I have my section with my bank accounts and all these things. I have all these different sections, but now I am here with a bound book. I'm like, okay, what do I do with a bound book? So I've learned a lot this year, and so I'm figuring out different ways to use it to make it work, because again, like I said, just being able to have everything in this one book, and it's really not that big and heavy, so it works. So being able to have everything in this one book is just great. So I'm definitely gonna be using a cousin as my regular planner for 2020. I'm looking forward to the new release. So yes guys, that's how I've been using my cousin. If you guys like this video, please subscribe and join me on this journey of becoming a more fruitful planner.